A big hello and a warm welcome to all of you amazing and beautiful people out there on the planet Earth who are here to uplift the energy of planet Earth, who are here to be a contributing factor for the growth and development of planet Earth, who are selfless in their approach, in their mission work, who keep their mission on number one priority, even over their personal affairs, personal relationships, and personal pleasures. In fact, people on the ascension journey do not care about pleasure and pain. They are above these things. They try to be. In the very beginning, they obviously learn via experience. They have to suffer. All of this suffering leads to purity of the soul. It is a difficult journey, but in the end, it's completely worth it because it never ends actually. You would think, when does it really end? It never ends because there is no beginning or there is no end to the source energy, and that's how this connection is. Now, I know you guys are really eagerly listening to this particular channeling session series. I know it's very spicy. It has all the elements of a very romantic getaway, with all the intimacy. But you have to understand that to reach this point, whosoever is the divine feminine and masculine that I have channeled like really crazy stuff. Crazy in the sense very mind-boggling stuff with a lot of supernatural stuff, which I'm not yet ready to relay, but I know I will when the time comes in due time. But in this channeling also, I would like to say this very clearly, that these two people, this divine feminine and masculine, they really love each other a lot. But the divine feminine is more in love with the source. And she understands that divine masculine is just reflecting, is just mirroring a certain aspect of hers. And she's totally present to it. She has not planned this. So in this part 2, you will understand this even more, because what's coming up is going to get more and more interesting. So fasten up your seat belts, because I get really vivid channelings, and I think and when I was doing this channeling, I got the message through 888. And I think that 888 has been very rare. I have not seen 777 and 888, but lately I am seeing 777 and 888. And in this channeling, because I was a little confused, I was thinking that, hey, am I supposed to even relay this? Because there's so much intimacy talk in this. There's talk about intercourse. There's talk about, and when I heard the first part, I was literally thinking that, oh my God, it sounds kind of quite exciting, girls. So I was thinking, am I even supposed to relay this type of stuff? But I started seeing 888 suddenly. And when I saw 888, you guys can look up for 888. It would be better if you look up for it, and you will understand where I'm coming from. So that was my answer for this channeling, that you just do what you're supposed to do. Don't question. That's what a channeler has to do. We just have to be very honest, and we actually have to, you guys could also end up becoming channelers in the future, or you guys could have strong intuition power that would help in your own mission. Depends on what role the universe has for you. But to be a channel, you have to be a pure vessel which has no questions. So I really cannot ask questions. Sometimes I really go through very crazy experiences in one day. Like in the morning I'm crying, in the evening I'm laughing and dancing. Sometimes it happens in a fraction of some time. Like 1 hour ago I'm in a different mood, another sometime later. But nothing really matters, because I just have to be the observer. It's all happenstance, just like this channeling. Now, I ended at the point where she's having a conversation with the platonic friends of DM, her DM, and she finds out that the DM has actually sent a message through her that the intimacy that happened between them before she left was very nice, very cute, and he really has gratitude for it. And she's thinking that why did he even have to tell to her? Like this is our private moment. Why you have to tell it to her? But before this private moment happened, and I got this glimpse after I had already relayed part 1. So between part 1 and part 2, my life kept going, and in between I got the glimpses. I saw the glimpse that before getting into the intimate situation, when she enters the party, and he's there, he's wearing very simple clothes, like he's wearing literally chappals and pajamas and a vest, like a very simple basic black color vest. And she too she's looking very nice, no doubt about it, but she's very casually, very simply dressed. And both of them are literally, everyone can see them. They stand out in the party, but it's not like people are worshipping them, how they show in the movies, that everyone is going like, wow, look at these two lovebirds. No, they're all friends. They're all having fun. But so when she enters and they're having the group dynamics, his eyes are constantly on her. And she catches him looking at her. And this is how they get aroused, by the way. They have this very flirtatious vibe, and like a new couple does at a party, like a random party. You see someone who's very attractive and you really have, so it's like they know each other for such a long time, but still their type of foreplay is very like as if it's for the first time. It's very beautiful how I see it from my point of view. It's very sacred. There is a lot of element of sacred sexuality, but I don't know how other people would see it. So he is very much into her. She's very much into him, while having conversations with while cooking food, while doing all the outdoor chores, while setting up the place, because she's kind of helping him out with it. And then this whole thing happens, and then they have to separate and go away for some time to other people. And that's why he feels that, he kind of wants to make her feel special in his own way. So there is a lot of comedy also, because she did find it funny when some other girl says to her that he sent across this message in the day and age of mobile phones, in the day and age of all the social media. Like he could have just messaged her or called her up, but he also, in his own cute, very innocent way, he passes on the message via another human being. And this another human being also did not pass on the message till she actually got to know the strength of the divine feminine. Like when the divine feminine gave her that nice small talk about loving her own self, about loving her body the way it is, loving her raw side, whatever she said, this friend, she was like, whoa, like, oh my God, now I see why this guy is so smitten by her, or now I see why he really loves her so much. I mean, she's good looking, attractive for him, and all of those things match up. She's funny and they are getting along really well. But now I see the confidence level. And then she finally shares this message. She could have shared it later or before, but I don't know. Perhaps I'm not the right person to say why, but then I see it like this. Now this intimacy should not be seen as something very huge, because earlier, whenever there was intimacy, after the chakra merge used to happen, the chakra merge is the thing. That's the reason why they are divine feminine and masculine, because that helps in their upgradation. So that used to lead to running. Every time they would get intimate, that would lead to running. But now, this is happening because of the imbalances of the energy has to come into balance. If you technically look at the divine feminine and the divine masculine, both of them have done so much ascension. They have worked so much on themselves. And I think we should give the credit to the divine feminine, because she's really worked a lot on this, and she has become a very selfless person. that for her, this is not important at all. This is not her priority. So you have to understand that she's completely detached from this, and so is the divine masculine. He is, both of them, they are not into this. They are into each other. The divine masculine is fully into each other. That is, he is mirroring her. Her level of presence is been mirrored by the divine masculine, to be honest. But that does not mean that this is what drives the relationship. And the reason why I was confused about should I do this channeling this way, exactly like this or not, was because I do not want anybody to get the wrong message. I want all of you people who are listening to remember, still keep that in mind, that it is the mission that is the priority of the divine feminine. So, now coming back to the vision. So now they are going back to where the retreat is, or where these people are living, wherever they are hanging out. So the girls are in the car and they are having a good time. All of them are having a good time. I mean, the divine feminine is friendly with normally everyone, as per what I see in this channeling. She doesn't have any problem with anyone as such. But yeah, one more thing. I also see a presence of animals in this channeling. There are some animals in this channeling too. And then they all reach back to that place. And when they reach back to that place, both of them are very happy to see each other. Especially the masculine. He has this really big smile. He's blushing. And she was blushing when his friend spoke about his message. So she was completely blushing, and she was feeling, like how your cheeks turn red when you get to hear something like this. And now he's the one who's blushing. The moment she enters, she's back in the party. And she's obviously changed her clothes and she's looking more fresh. And he has also changed only the vest, but he is still in his raw. Both of them are raw. I see a lot of rawness in both of them. Like hair not done that well, the out of the bed look, the simple look, the casual look. I see that. That's like the highlight of this channeling. I don't know why. Some of you would relate to it. So, when she's back in the party, he's very excited to be next to her. And I see them rescuing some animal. That is also one thing I saw, which was strange for me. Like, I don't know why would they together rescue. They're trying to rescue a pet, or they're trying to comfort a pet. Something like that they're doing. Then they go to the terrace again, and they again start chilling after doing their other chores. Like when they come back, they do unpacking, they distribute the food or whatever other items people had asked for, and then they go back to their own private zone again. Okay, and this time they're not doing anything, they're not making out or anything, but they're just sitting with each other. Like she's sitting on this sort of a bed or something, not exactly like a bed, but it's like a piece of furniture where you can, which has some sort of a mattress. It's not a huge space, but she can lie down. So she's lying down on it, and I see some plastic transparent curtains over there. And he is sitting on a relaxing chair, and they're just chit-chatting with one another, and very simple questions like, how was your day? And he doesn't bring up that message, neither does she. Both of them have it in their mind probably, but they don't talk about it. That, hey, didn't you say this to your friend? And how was your response? Nothing. They're just having a normal conversation. And then he just says that, I'm really happy you came here. I'm really happy you're here. It matters to me. It means a lot to me. And she says that, yeah, I'm also having a good time. It's not so bad. I just have to get back to my work. I have to do some things, and I'll be, like fully back. Then like she has to send some emails, or she has to do something on a laptop. So that place that she's sitting on, the bed sort of a place, it's actually for her work. She wants to do some work. So what he's doing is that he's letting her work, letting her do that work space thing. But he's not leaving her side. He's like, I will sit next to her. Like, why should I leave her alone? Why should she, I want to see her. Like, I want to see her as much as I can. And I'm glad that she came here and she's extended the stay. So obviously she has to work. She cannot leave the work for me. But I'm still gonna, even if I have to be quiet, even if, because when she's gonna be writing the mails or she's gonna be calling other people, he just wants to be around her. Let me put it that way. With whatever excuse he can. So he's just hanging out over there and he's also pretending to do something. So they're just chit-chatting in between, like very little. So there's that, oh, do you want to eat something tonight? Like, what do you want to do? Blah, blah, blah. And just then, and I also see that the friends have gone totally nuts. Like, they are in the party, they are going crazy, singing, dancing, we're doing all comical stuff. So these two are enjoying that also. It's like they have gone through so much in the past, so much pain, separation, trauma, fights, anger, cursing one another, always doubting one another, not being sure, like 50-50, half here, half there, not choosing a side, not sticking with it. That this peaceful phase is looking too good to be true. And this is what she thinks in her head. That this is too good to be true. Is this really even happening? She's thinking now that something has to happen. Something weird has to happen now. Something awkward, something weird, something off-putting, something... It can't be this perfect. Come on. We never had it so perfect, so relaxing, so smooth. Something has to happen. And she's scared, little bit scared, because she has seen that bad side of the divine masculine, and he knows that she can get very angry. And this is totally her thinking right now. So she's thinking that, what if something weird, something bad, something awkward happens and he loses his cool too? And he becomes like, because the separation was long, and then when they came back, there were some meetings, there were some conversations. They had those conversations before coming to this point of being so close to one another. So she's just hoping that, so far I've only had comforting experiences with him. I don't want anything weird to happen where I am tested, where my self-respect, especially because it was always her self-respect that was at stake. So she's like, I don't want my self-respect to be at stake. And all these things are going on in her mind, and she is still doing her work, and he is sitting on that relaxing chair, and he is also reading something. He has some papers in his hand. I don't know what papers, but something. And that's when one of the friend comes and says something to the divine masculine. And the divine masculine is like, what? He's like, yeah. He's like, wait, are you serious? The friend is like, yeah, I'm serious. They are here. So this is where I end the part 2, and I'm going to be back in the part 3 because I don't want this to be too long. I want to complete it in the part 3, and that's where the next will follow. So yeah, come back again for part 3, and one love and peace out. Welcome back to part 3 of the channeling session. Divine Masculine's parents give a surprise visit to the Divine Feminine, and I'm going to relay this channeling exactly how it has been given to me. In the last part, you heard till the point where the Divine Masculine and Feminine were together in his space where he lives, or it's a retreat. But they were together while she's doing some work and he's just relaxing by her, and a friend comes inside and he informs him of something, gives him some piece of news, and he gets very shocked with that. And to that, he is like, he has been given the news that his parents are there, that his mother and father are in that place and they have come to visit him. Now this is a bit shocking for him because obviously this was not part of his plan, and he was definitely not expecting his parents. The divine feminine, she overhears this conversation and she gets very awkward because she can figure out that the parents are around or something. And then the friend says that they would be here any minute. So the divine masculine is not very happy to hear this, because what I've been shown is that he did have a phone conversation with his mother, and he did tell her that he is with his friends and they are enjoying and you are also with him. But he did not know that the mother would actually turn up over there. And this is something that he is not happy about. So he does not want to express it to the divine feminine, because he does not want to upset her or make her feel uncomfortable. But now that she gets the point, she says, it's okay, it's no problem, let them come over and we can all chill out. Now so far she had not met the parents as such, but she had a good idea about the fact that they could have probably, especially the mother, could have probably raised some kind of blockage in their earlier dance. And she also has this very strong feeling that the mother probably did not approve of her. Now I had also channeled another divine masculine and feminine where the mother was very supportive of the DF, and though the DF had a lot of doubts about her own self, but the mother, the divine masculine's mother, was very accepting. On the contrary, she was very loving. In this channeling, I see something different. I see that the mother's energy is not healed, it's not clear. And while they're having this conversation, there was a transparent curtain around her, like the curtain which is made of transparent cloth or fabric of that nature. And it's literally around the area, that bedding area, that sort of, in India we call it divan. I don't know what it's called in foreign countries, because there I don't see this type of, I've never seen it over there. In those their furniture scheme, but it's like a sofa cum bed, but there is an option of separating that part with that curtain. So this is where this transparent curtain comes in handy. It's probably to just create a partition, but I don't know why the transparent curtains are there, because transparent curtains really don't hide much. So maybe it's just for partition, or it's for the air conditioning. Probably that's the reason. So he just puts on that curtain, and that she finds even more awkward, because she's like, why are you drawing the curtains? Then he says, because I don't want them to talk to you, especially my mother. And I know it's your private space, because at this point he's also thinking that she is here because of me. I invited her over. And she's in a casual setup. We are all hanging out. Actually, there is a house party going on, and my mother already knew about it, that I have invited friends over, and I have invited the girl I love so much also here. Then why did she come here? Like, what was the need of her coming here and crashing my party or my comfortable setup with the DF? So he is also not at all happy about this, and she can see that. So it's not like she doesn't understand him now, like she's more understanding. So she can see that he is also not happy about it, and he's very uncomfortable. So that makes her kind of calm, because she has to, put a calm face for him. So she tells him to relax. She tells him that, come on, just chill. Let them come. It's okay. They are your parents. Don't worry. We will talk to them and she has no idea that the mother will talk to her, or she would be the center of this conversation. But I think what I can see and what I can gauge is that the divine masculine has an idea. He thinks or he's very sure that the mother has come only to talk to the feminine. So he draws that curtain, and she is kind of dumbfounded. And now there is one more thing that has happened with the Divine Feminine, that she has a status in the society. She is like a known person who many people come and consult, who many people look up to, and she has a certain kind of place. She's the Hierophant. If you have read the other channelings also, I must tell you guys that the Divine Feminine has to be the Hierophant, or she has to be the High Priestess, she has to be the Empress, she has to be in all those roles where, she has to be the Queen of Wands. So she has that type of energy around her. Okay, she's not a small fly, she's not a kind of person, she's not a kid on the block. So she is not worried about what's going to happen, but she can definitely see that the Divine Masculine is not at all comfortable. And while all this is going on, suddenly the parents pop inside. Now there is the father is there and the mother is there, and they both literally crash into that space. They don't say hi, hello. They don't say what's up, sorry, we crashed your party. Or they don't give a reason that we were right around the corner, so we just, I wanted to see you, my son. Nothing of that sort. They just crash and they come and park themselves in front of whatever sitting space they see. There are chairs. There are 2 chairs, and I see them sitting on the chair. And the father is very quiet. He's not saying anything. In fact, he nods to the Divine Feminine. He gives her that gesture that like hello, but not like a proper hello, but a nod, that hi. It's sort of a positive nod, but you won't say it's a completely positive nod. But in a way, he's trying to acknowledge her presence, and he is making her feel that I know you are special. I know my son loves you, but I am supposed to play this character and I have to be quiet right now. So he is very silent. He's a silent spectator who doesn't say anything. And then the mother, she just starts off immediately. She looks at the Divine Feminine and she's like, listen, look, I don't know you at all. I have not, hung out with you much. I have not spoken to you much. But I know that you have a lot of differences with my son. In the sense, you guys are very different. Now, a lot of you would relate with this scenario. A lot of you would understand this scenario because a lot of you have their own individual difference with the Divine Masculine. When I say difference, I don't mean difference of opinion or, difference of mindset, but difference in terms of caste, creed, color, status, religion, age, profession, so on and so forth. Like, you guys can just think about it. So she straight away throws it at her face as if it's something that she should be blamed for. And she says that, look, you have all these differences and we don't think that you're the right person for him. We don't think you're the right match for him. So why don't you just, I know I just came in, I just dropped in, because in her head also, she doesn't know that they have been so intimate or they are so close to one another. They love so much each other so much deeply. She's just thinking that the party has just started and these people have just come over. She doesn't want them to, I don't know why that energy is there. How I saw this energy was a disturbing energy. I didn't see it like a welcoming energy. So she says all of this. And then she says that, I don't think you should be seeing my son. You should see someone else and he should see someone else. You're not the right person for him. He's not the right guy for you. And I don't think you would also be happy with a guy like him. So, and the Divine Masculine is literally sitting over there. And now he's back to his relaxing chair and this is very funny, guys. I found it so hilarious. That those chairs which can in which you can pull them back and they can really take you back, and it's like the beach chairs. So he's literally sitting in that position and he's probably just listening to this, which is what the feminine also notices, that he's on a reclining chair, and it's like how you sit in a theater when you're very relaxed and the popcorn is there and you're just watching a movie. So she thinks in her head that, is he watching a movie or what is he doing? But her gaze is completely stuck with the gaze of his mother. and the future mother-in-law, hopefully. Now, I don't know what happens later on. I just saw this part of the channeling. And she's like, you are not the right person for him, so you should just not be involved with him. And this gives her a very, like, she's very shocked, but she's actually more shocked because everything happened out of the blue. Though some time back she was thinking that this is all too good to be true and something might happen, like, but she never thought it would happen in this way. She thought it would happen between him and her. And how would he react in that situation? What if they fight? Or what if something stupid happens? Can it all go so smoothly? Can it all end like a nice when I go back home and I can sit and think that nothing happened weird? And here she is, looking at his mother, listening to these heavy duty words, all of this anger projected at her, which is what she's clueless about, and then talking about the differences in a way that it's very condescending for a woman to talk to another woman like this, that, hey, stay away from my son because you're black. Stay away from my son because you're Jamaican. Stay away from my son because you're elder to him. Stay away from my son because you don't earn that much. Stay away from my son because you don't have so much money. Stay away from your son because your parents are like this. And so on and so forth. You guys can think about it. I mean, that is the most condescending thing one woman can do to another woman. And the divine feminine is shocked. She doesn't even know what to say, and she is literally thinking, what should I say? And by now, because they've already gone through the phase of separation, and after going through this phase of separation and just having this really loving moments with him, okay, suddenly this happens. This time, she's not gonna give it up. She's already thinking in her head that I will reply to her and I will say to her that why are you doing this to me? Why are you talking to me like this? And what wrong have I done? Am I the only person who has these differences? Don't you have any difference between you and your husband? Are you completely identical? Are you like identical? She has all these dialogues are going on in her head. But at the same time, she's also thinking, she's also in a tug of war situation where she's thinking that it's his mother after all. Like, some elders are like that. Should I just ignore it? Should I just not say anything? And then she thinks, do I even have the right to say something? Because though the divine masculine is back to me, though we are together and we are getting romantic, but like, we are not like married, we are not husband and wife, or she's still completely like, she's not thinking about, she's thinking we have not even made our relationship public, or she's thinking all those things, that is this the right time? Even though probably on social media they're public, or they're posting pictures, or they're not, I don't know, because all of that was not shown to me. The only thing I can relay and I could visualize, I saw the vision, is that she wants to say a lot, or she wants to say something, at least she wants to give it back to her. But at the same time, because she has done so much inner work, with the amount of inner work she has done and the amount of ascension she has witnessed, she's already ascended. This doesn't also bother her much. Like, she's just looking at it like an observer, that, okay, if this is happening to me, if this type of, behavior has been thrown at me, like, what should I even say something? Like, I should probably say, yeah, I'll think over it, or not say anything at all. So she is just, again, she is in the observational mode too, and she has not replied to her. So it's like the DM's mother is talking, she's going on and on and on, and she's like, I don't think you're the right person. And there is a pause. And it's almost like she's still contemplating that now she has paused or she has stopped. What should I say to her? Should I ignore her? Should I smile at her? Should I tell her we are just friends, nothing is going on? Should I just say, yeah, I love your son? Because she's thinking, should I even say that to her? is like, she's still not said it to him fully, then how can she say it to her? Then she's thinking about her own self-respect, that, I hold a certain position in the community, and this woman is talking to me like as if I am in high school. Even if someone is in high school, no one should talk to them in such a condescending manner. So if someone talks to me in such a condescending manner, should I? And she's having a conversation with source. Immediately, she gets connected to the source and she's questioning the source. Can you please guide me? Can you please tell me why am I even in this situation now? Like, she was not expecting it now because they have come back after separation. She thought that all of these things would have gotten sorted by now. And the divine masculine would have, and then she's also thinking in her head one more thing. So look at the series of thoughts that have popped her inside her head in the same time. She's also thinking that, oh my God, he has been talking about me to his mother. And this she's seeing in a positive way, not in a negative way. She's thinking that I thought that, I don't matter so much to him. But it seems like this woman seems to have my biodata with her. She seems to know a lot about me because she is talking about the differences, and definitely the divine masculine must have shared all this with her. Otherwise, she probably could have hired a private detective. What else? How else does she know so much about me and about the differences we share, which she now sees as the strength of their relationship, and he also sees them like this, like one of the biggest strength of his relationship, the thing that actually got them back together. So she is in the pause, and in the pause, she has already asked the source, why am I in this situation? Please guide me. I want to handle it in the best way. And she's just about to open up her mouth and say the words like, like when you're just about to say something, you're getting ready, and boom, the divine masculine starts talking. And she is in absolute shock because she totally forgot that he is also there and he is listening to them, and he's literally on the reclining chair and he's like, watching the theatrical show. And then he takes over and he says, and this is what he says. Listen up, people. He says that, Mom, why would you do this to me? Why? First of all, okay, you come here, you have all the right to come here. You are my parents. I am absolutely thrilled to see you in that way. If it's a happy surprise, if you're just passing by, crossing from here, or you just wanted to see me, great. But why did you say all of these things to her? Why? Do you realize that I really love her? She is, and it's not like she's just any other girl or she's just a girlfriend that would end the relationship. No, she's my future, my present, and she's also my past. She's the person who has given me everything, and whatever I am, it's like you cannot take it away from her. And you cannot disrespect her like this. You cannot. And also, why I'm pissed off with you right now is because you know that it has been really hard for me to get back with her, like to, be here today. She's sitting next to me. You know that how much I have suffered alone without her and what all I have gone through without her. And I shared everything with you in confidence, hoping and thinking that you would feel my pain, you would see my suffering, and you would be happy that I'm back with her, that we have patched up and I'm meeting her and she's in my intimate space. She's with my friends and we are hanging out and we are doing something happy together. And instead of feeling good about it, instead of understanding that your son, it was not easy for me to bring her back in my life. It was very hard. We had so many problems in the past. And now when I finally see that there is some peace and we are moving in a right direction, you have to come in and say all of this to me? To her, not even to me. If you would have said this to me, I would have probably handled it in a different way. You could have had a separate conversation with me, but you chose to just bang into this situation and blast her off without even thinking how she would feel. She's a very accomplished girl. You cannot talk to an accomplished person like this who's doing something for this community or who's doing great things in life. You cannot speak with her like this. This is highly disrespectful. And sorry, mother, I always agree with you. I always stand by you and I always respect you and I love you so much. But this is something that I don't agree with, because here you're putting my relationship with her in jeopardy. I don't know what she's going to say. What if she decides to just leave me here and end this relationship? All of my hard work to get, bring her back in my life will all go for a waste. Do you want me to go back into the same state that I was in when I was not with her? And while he's saying all of these things, one by one, the mother is listening. The father is he's not showing the smile because he has to side up with his wife, but he's sitting very straight in a very open, very positive posture, like my son is making sense. And this is not to demean anyone's mother-in-law or anyone's mother. This is not to demean or condescend them or say that, oh, this mother is so vicious and she's so full of poison and she's so mean. No, because I have channeled a loving mother also. And I have also channeled the patriarchy and the matriarchy wounds. But we all know that most of the divine masculines, most of them, in fact 90% of them, or if not 90, then 70-60%, depending on region to region, because it's different for India, it's different for USA, it's different for Africa. Every country has a different dynamics in mother-son relationship, but even the international problems are same. The international situations are also same. There is this possessiveness that most mothers feel for their son. You can't help it. So this is not even being possessive. This is more like, walking up to someone and trying to scare them away. So when he is saying all of this is something that the divine feminine had not expected at all. She didn't even actually think that he has to play a role here. She just thought that it's all on up to her, and now she has to deal with this situation while he will be a silent spectator. But he is her divine masculine. He is not a false twin who will watch this drama and not say a word and then, act like a victim in front of the girl and then act like a victim in front of the mother and even allow this to happen. So he is not going to allow this to happen again. This is the first and last time, and he is making it very clear. And while she's listening to him, while she's looking at him, while he suddenly gets up from his reclining chair, and he still doesn't get up from the chair is what I see. He's still sitting on the chair, only he has straightened up his back. She's admiring him. She's full of respect for him. She's impressed by him. She did not expect all this. And she's like, wow, this is my guy. Like, now I think that yes, I can trust on him, because it's not like he is making the mother feel any bad. He's actually bringing in his own pain, suffering, his work, his inner journey, and his love for the divine feminine in a very genuine manner. And he is like the head of the family right now. Head of the family that she has with him, which is still in the process, in work in progress. And also his own family. He has actually taken the matters in his own hands. He is not the person who needs other people's dependency to take decisions. And this is again not to condescend anyone. We all have flawed family members. No one is perfect here. So we should not point a finger at anyone. When I do channeling, I see many different types of scenarios. This is one of them. So the channeling actually ends right here. I did not see anything after that. This is what I saw, this whole dynamic and the love that they have for one another. He is so protective towards her. He has realized what all they have faced and what all she has faced in the separation. He really respects her body, her mind, her soul, everything actually. And he is not in the zone that something should just happen in this manner and it should make her feel uncomfortable. And he is not creating a scene. He's very well spoken and his communication has improved a lot. Earlier, he could not handle these situations. He would probably raise a nuisance or throw something, break something, or just, not be able to handle it at all. But right now, he's in calm, composure, very poised, very well spoken. He knows what to say, and he will not let all of this nonsense, this TV soap opera, this, mother-in-law, daughter-in-law ki ladai, in Hindi we say that. This is, like I said, this is an international scenario. You should see the movie Monster-in-Law, or you should see all of these movies. So it's an international scenario, and of course, years later, things are very different. The mother-in-law, the daughter-in-law, they're all used to one another. But there are many places where it plays out, and where there is no healing, there is no wounding. There's no healing and wounding. That's where this becomes very ugly. So this is where it has to be stopped right here. Because in Indian subcontinent, about 30-40 years back, women used to get burned because of their mother-in-law in dowry cases. It was that bad. And I have personally seen, daughter-in-laws torture, beat up old ladies, very old mother-in-laws. So this dynamic has a to and fro. In this situation though, in this situation specifically, I see that the mother is not, and it could be the mother's love also. We can see everything from a positive and a negative perspective. It could be that she really doesn't understand her well, she doesn't know her that well, she's scared for the son's future, blah, 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 blah. But whatever said and done, that behavior is not acceptable. And this is not being said by the feminine now, it's actually been said very clearly by the masculine. So thank you so much for being on this channeling session, and one love and peace out, and I wish you all the very best.